Hello and welcome. This video is brought to you by thestreamingadvisor.com. Tailor your entertainment with streaming. And what we're going to look at in this video is CNN Plus. This is the new paid service that CNN has put out so that if you want to add more access to some exclusive web content as well as access a lot of their library content. This is various TV shows that they've done, along with the numerous specials they've done. These things looking back at decades, these things looking back at different presidential administrations, or remembering people who have died. Anything that's been put out by CNN along those lines is kind of camped here like its own little on-demand library. It doesn't have that many things, which is always confused me as to why exactly CNN was launching its own streaming service in general, when compared to something like HBO Max, which has the entire DC Comics library, the entire Warner Films library, Turner Classic Movies. I mean, so much in that one app. This one is just a little bit more limited. If you're wondering, this is not the same thing as having CNN. This is not like a cord cutter version of CNN. As you see as we're filing through things, this is mostly on-demand TV, and it's things that have already run. It's educational, especially if you appreciate the perspective offered by CNN, but it's not like, oh, I'm going to cancel cable, I'll get CNN Plus, and now I can watch anything I need to watch, if you need to watch CNN. You will notice that there are newer things, and there are some exclusive shows to CNN Plus, especially their live shows. Their live shows feature Chris Wallace, for instance, who just joined the network from Fox News. It has a nightly broadcast with Wolf Blitzer at 7:30 called, I think it's called The News. We'll get back to it. Let's see. The Newscast. That's a little presumptuous, eh? But in general, the network here, what they're doing is giving a totally alternative approach to what they've done in the past. You'll see that under Browse, you've got everything that CNN Plus has. Seems to be in some kind of an alphabetical order. But, so this is going to be everything on there, and you can file through it. Find it just a little unwieldy to do it this way, but their prefab selections aren't all that extensive. Now, I have found that if you approach this online, like through the website, the CNN Plus website, it breaks things down a lot better. It provides different little subcategories like true crime or history or historical figures, things like that. In this case, it's not so much. Now, if you do find something that you like, you can add it to a watch list. That's one normal feature that you can expect to find here. Like, here's an example of the watch list that I have been kind of putting together as I filed through, but there's Moonshot, which we just added. It does have a standard search. So if you know that there's a show that you saw, like, hey, I want to watch that thing about the 60s, you can find it there. Hate to see that about Bruce Willis. But something else about this is, while it doesn't have a free feed into CNN, it does have live breaking news. So you're not going to be, on CNN Plus if a tidal wave hits California. You're not going to be like, I didn't even know. I was watching CNN Plus and they don't have live news. They break in. What they actually explained is that it's a different group of anchors than you would find on the regular CNN channel. If you want to access the CNN channels, you can, but you'll see here they offer these three, Headline News, CNN International, and CNN, but you have to activate it through a system, through a paid service. So if you have a cable subscription or even Hulu with live TV and YouTube TV, they will authenticate CNN. The other cord-cutting cable replacement services do not. So no Sling TV, no Fubo TV. Though if you consider DirecTV Stream a paid cable cutting service, that also will authenticate. I checked all this out myself. Otherwise, there's dozens and dozens and dozens of cable services. If you're getting this as a cord cutter, that's no solace to you. I'm sorry. But that's what CNN Plus is all about. It's not a true, utter substitute for having a 24-hour CNN option. But if you want to get a different perspective from their standard nightly newscasts and news program editorial shows and things like that, this is out there. And, for some folks, it might be a nice change of pace. I do think that some of this archival stuff is cool. All of these interviews by Larry King. If you didn't follow Larry King over the years, throughout the 80s and the 90s, even the early 2000s, he talked to everybody. It looks like they kind of have a group of famous comedians he's interviewed. But he could interview everybody from Osama bin Laden and O.J. Simpson to Robin Williams or Michael Jordan. You just never know. And so that's a nice little time capsule on pop culture and the important people in our world. Now, as of the time that we recorded this video, you can only find CNN Plus on the Fire TV. The app advertises that it has support for Apple TV, Android TV, Roku, even Samsung TVs, their smart TV system. But at the moment, we could only find it on Fire TV. I expect that that's all going to be worked out in the wash. This isn't even a new thing. That just happens a lot with brand new services. So if you don't have it yet on your streaming platform, don't worry. Just check for updates. Make sure your operating system is up to date. And you'll eventually have it if that's what you're looking for. But that's it. That is CNN Plus. I hope you found this information helpful. If you did, please subscribe and share this video with your friends. As always, I'm Ryan Downey, the Streaming Advisor. Stream on, my friends.